Nakaseke district was officially granted district status and became operational on August 11, 2005, carved out from the mother Luwero district with its headquarters at Butalangu. The move was aimed at improving service delivery and bringing it closer to the people. In the early 1980s, the current Nakaseke district was the epicenter of the revolutionary that ultimately brought the NRM government, led by Yoweri Museveni, to power.
And that I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution. So help me God.
The NRM government has achieved a lot of gains in the district, primarily in infrastructure, water, health, land reforms, and economic empowerment. The Kapeka Industrial Park is a major gain, employing over 15,000 people in various factories and contributing significantly to local employment.
Here we are in Kapeka Industrial Park, specifically in Gokta Workwear. We do manufacturing of clothes, workwear, safety wear, and the other kind of clothes. So Namunkekera Industrial Park is well organized and good to help the workers to work and develop and change their lives.
The government is undertaking major road projects, including the tamaking of the Luwero-Butalangu and Matuga-Kapeka roads, which are expected to boost transport. There has been improved access to electricity in various parts of the district.
Sometimes back, we had a problem of water. This place is very dry. We even tried to drill our own water and we did not get the water. We thank the minister plus the former minister, Hajat Saida Bomba, that he had drilled the water outside the school, but it was very expensive for the school and the community to bring that water from down there where the water source is to this place where it is today. But with the help of the minister and the government, he managed to bring the water nearer to the school and then the community around. So we commend him for that great job.
The government has reportedly invested 17 billion Uganda shillings in the PDM, benefiting over 17,530 residents. Initiatives such as the launch of a model farm to boost wealth creation and plant solar-powered irrigation systems are presented as efforts to modernize agriculture. The government, through the Land Fund, has processed land measuring over 1,600 hectares in Nakaseke and compensated landlords to resolve land disputes and prevent tenant evictions. Improvements in the education sector have been highlighted, with the construction of seed secondary schools expected to reduce the number of sub-counties without a government secondary school. Honorable Kyofa, the Minister of State for Kampala and aspiring NRM Member of Parliament for Nakaseke Central, shares with us the NRM gains in Nakaseke district that we need to protect.
My name is Kyofa, but the media people prefer us calling me my father's name, Kyofa Togabye. My dad is the late Charles Kyofa Togabye Nabuzana. We hail from the next village, but within formerly what was the part of this parish, Naruvule Parish. He was one of the firefighters per se, but he was mainly based in the Kabalega unit. Yes, Kabalega unit, which used to take the laws of this place, and it was also premised domiciled around our land, somewhere in Kabogwe and the neighbors and so on. But that unit had a certain history before NRA, before the fighters came in. My father and another late Sempa and another one, Joshua, and others, they were about 6 or 7. They had started their own fighting force. But you know those days fighting with a spear. So they were trying to create resistance against the UPC, youth vigilantes, who had become so violent. And so some men here, including my dad, they came up and they started the resistance. So when Mzee came in and Major General Otafire, actually we were so much attached to Major General Otafire because we used to see him before, and they came in little did know, for us, we didn't know, we were just kids, and they were just now mapping and planning and so on. But most importantly, again, my father, he was the farm manager of East Mengo Growers, Namukekera Estate and Ngoma Estates. So for him, he was more of an agriculturalist. So he was, that's why there is a lot of attachment between me, my ancestral and heritage, and Namukekera Industrial Park. Because my dad joined in 1966 when he was from school, but there was some bit of change from industrial coffee growers to East Mengo. I don't want to go into the history of acquisition and so on, but for him, he remained there because he was more of a crop scientist. Somehow fate had to come back again to me to restart what my parents had started and worked on since 1969 and so on and so forth. I attribute some of the aspects to General Saleh because my dad died way back in 1995 around there. Of course, we were taken over by Mzee, and somehow Mzee linked us to, he somehow, I think, asked General Saleh to somehow take care of us. I don't know. I think for them, they had their own, plans. For them, they have 20 years plan. They can start on you when they realize that plan in 20 years. For us, we are just there. Why I attribute it to him, when I started working him in 2006, that's when actually I got the farm, the real training now into these leadership things. And I remember the Christmas of 2007, we ate it together in Ikololo. I remember that time I sat with him at night, and I have a note, I still have it in my house. He wrote down and said, when I look at you, there's something I see in you. I didn't know what he was seeing. But he says, I want you to do the following. 1, I want commitment. 2, total loyalty. 3, honest. 4, love for the people. 5, my sacred. He signed. And that is the first time I saw his signature. Getting his signature is not so easy. So since then, somehow I started working, and that's how we started establishing the new Namukekera now and so on. But when he was letting me I was a bit independent, take a decision on your own, report back. Every time he was really trying to impart certain things in me until in 2011 there, I got a job with Ministry of Agriculture to go and start working on the oil palm projects, which we did a tremendous. I think that's when I also started seeing my potential. By that time, I was coming from Nakaseke district local government, and I'd done a lot of things. When I was there, we did so many things around here, but principally we were trying to flow Muzee's guidance. The president could come. I remember sometime, I think in 2009, he came to Nakaseke and he went to the Kado corridor area. But by then, I was coordinating a project called Luwero Renzo Development Program. And by then, I think it was Honorable Nyombi Thembo, the Minister of State. So he had given me some bit of resources to do water ponds, dams, for the Balisa, for the cattle keepers. And we really did a lot of work. Little did I know my work was going to become a very impactful work, that it stopped people from chasing animals, taking them to Masindi. The way cattle keepers migrates. And when the president came, he appreciated. And somehow people were like saying, Kyofa! So the man could do Kyofa. So he called me and was like, hey, whoa, Auntie Kyofa. I said, yes, my son. He said, okay, what have you done? I said, sir, I got money. We hired these equipments, the earth-moving equipment, and people could now contribute. So it was kind of a co-funding. So we had really done a lot of dams in the area. And he said, okay, thank you very much. And that's when I started getting a statement and say, you know, I told you our revolutionized children, if we educate them, they will be useful. Those were small, small insights. So when he came to Kalangala 2019 to launch a certain project there for the farmers, again was like, oh, Kyofa, okay. So when people are now speaking good of war, he said, no wonder we have our revolutionary son here. I went to Buvuma, wherever you could go, you know. But most importantly, I'd got a lot of training from General Sale, and I had this urge of leaving impact. Whenever I could pass, I could leave a trace. So that one really helped me a lot. And like any other, the whole country, we all got the same shock, including myself. When I was appointed a minister, I think on 8th June 2021, shockingly, I need to confess, you know, when rumor starts and you feel like your instincts, I never expected Kampala, because really me, I was more of a rural practitioner. Of course, I ran back to people call him my godfather, people call him his father, people call him whatever they want to call him. It is okay, nameless. But at least I went to my parent and he guided. Nakaseke, I started these projects, like I said, 2006. When I finished education and I got a job, so my work started on 2nd January 2007. I was posted here as a commercial officer and then a planner, like that. I was holding a lot of portfolios. That's when I started. Why? Because I'm a born of this place. I knew the pain my people were going through. Even when I was still in the university, I was doing some projects with support from Mama Saida Bumba and so on. When it came to education, I mobilized the people to really attend school. Way back when I was in the university, I was the chairman of the students from Nakaseke there. By then it was really, we were very few getting children from Nakaseke there. It was a miracle. So we started. And in that process, just like that, we built a school. Can you imagine? We went and supported the building of Chiwoko. He says, which was there. We said, no, I used to mobilize my people and we come and we even built another primary school. So we started.
My name is Mukwaya Geoffrey. I'm a deputy academics at Katalika Mese Modern Senior Secondary School in Nakaseke district. This school was started in 2010 with the help of the Minister for Kampala, Mr. Kyofa Togabye. He was very instrumental in lobbying for the establishment of this school. This school is a government school with both level, O and A level. This school serves the community around these villages like Katalika Mese, Chivumu, Lusanja. We have Wakatama, and then the surrounding LOCs, Blamazi, we have Kabala, and then beyond Chitosa County is still supporting the school. He lobbied for the new structures, the administration block, and then the multi-purpose hall, and then the 2 toilets for boys and girls. And we thank the minister and the government of Uganda for starting this project in this community that has helped to improve on the knowledge of the students and at the same time the knowledge of our parents that are educating their students from here or their children from here.
Now in 2008, where I started this school, Katalika Mese, that one it was in 2008, and actually I used some of money which General Sale to give me. I started a school here. Reason being, from here to Kapeka SS, by then, it's about 18 kilometers. Then from here to Chiwoko SS is 22 kilometers. Now, we had 2 primary schools here, Chivumu Primary School and Wakatama. The people who could finish P7 were either you go the other side or this side. And you can tell a girl to walk 18 kilometers to and fro every day. So, and this was part of Kapeka, and it was one of my last parishes, and we used to call it a hard to reach. Can you imagine here, a hard to reach area? You know, this road runs for 22 kilometers, like I said, and it joins the two main roads. It joins Kapeka, Wachato Road, and it joins Chiwoko, Wachato Road. It had taken 25 years. So when I came in, I looked at it, I said, guys, we shall see something. So I thank my uncle, Jeno Katumba, for the tremendous response. He spent here 1 billion. Personally, I had spent my personal small resources, 100 million. I laughed, it was a drop in the sea. Somehow, he mobilized some resources, he sent me the engineers. Actually, his means of works which he did it. Only that everything people think, oh, Kyofa, because, well, I appreciate. But I always tell them, no, my role is to say problem, report it to where it is, can be handled, and then we handle it. And that is the role of a leader. So that land was my father's caplot. It was a small caplot, then the other people, we combined and got 5 acres. So I said, instead, let me put a school there. We started a school. I managed it, and it was just like that, until when in 2011, this area became a sub-county, was elevated to a sub-county, Chito sub-county. Now remember, by the policy, by then the president was insisting of a school in each sub-county. So I had to give in this business. Free of charge, 0 cost. I said, it's okay. Now it is boosting over about 1,000 children. I'm just excited. You can't tell. Now the children here, they know from whatever primary you go into, Katale Kambesa, and it is one of the best schools in the country. Last year it had the best science student in the whole country. Imagine that one. So every time I'm like, wow, this is a miracle coming true. So I did start now. I can't tell the number of schools we constructed during that time. For me, an opportunity of recovery, schools. Then the youth, way back, we started on milk coolers everywhere. Then the youth, the border, maize. I was actually the champion of maize here. When Jerusalem asked me to see what we can do for that place, we grew maize. And you know what came out of that? The maize was so much to an extent that we had, I even don't want to call it a bump harvest. We had a boom, a flooding of maize. What did we do? Out of that, I created some mirrors. Now that's why you see, I can now call myself the father of mirrors, and I don't have any mirror. I organized, mobilized the people. We are just Kora out of the blue. He gave us support by then, 25 million. I just handed it over to those people. Now they are the biggest maize millers in this region. And they formed some groups, Nakaseke maize grain millers, then Nakaseke agro farmers, blah, blah. Now they are milling. And we started growing maize. I started mobilizing people to grow maize. At one time, I remember we grew maize to a tune of about 47,000 acres. So we really, these ones just started. Now water here, you know this is a seminar. That's where you start the cattle corridor, almost starts from here. So people didn't have water. Of course, we now remember now at least I'm a minister, I can see, whisper. I talked to my colleague, Minister of Water, my sister, Aisha Sechinda. We got about 7 billion. And we did water here, water in Wachato. Wachato took almost the running share, 4.6 billion. Oh, Mzee gave us good water there. 77,000 liters of water per hour. Now my Ibalal, whenever I go there, they say, Terechi Shengo Nabe. So I'm really excited. Because these are the people who are now drinking water with what? Sharing water with animals. Now they have water. So even here, but shockingly, my place here, I don't have water. But I'm happy. The community is getting water. What did I do? We first got some water. We did a borehole there to serve the school and, of course, the immediate community. But it was a bit expensive. We couldn't really satisfy the community. Now when we got this one, is really doing a great job. Now we want them to increase the booster so that it can help most of the parishes. Yeah.
Nze Mugerwa Christopher Salongo, ssentebe w'ekitundu kino. Okusooka kwa byonna, sooka okwebaza gavumenti yaffe eno. Koze ku bizibu byaffe nga abatuuze bakabala mu Lukakivumu. Okusinga ennyo tubadde n'ekizibu eky'amazzi nga kyamaanyi nnyo ddala. Tulina round table yaffe ya wansi nga mbi nnyo, buli amazzi ge basima ag'emikono nga tegajja. Naye mu 2019 Honorable Saida Bumba n'atusimira oluzzi luno, akati bwe twamukuba akalulu nga mumanyi eby'obululu nekino kisikira awo. Kati jjo lyabalamu omwana waffe enzaalwa Honorable Kyofa Togabye bw'amala okujja wano okutandika okukola emirimu gye, ne tuwaayo okusaba kwaffe, n'akolagana ne disitulikiti ne Honorable munne Najjuma Saala ne batukolera ne baleeta Green Nexus Green netandika okupima amazzi gano. Tubadde n'ebbula ly'amazzi okumala ebbanga ddene nnyo, naye ng'ebyalo byonna kumpi abantu nga 600 ku 700 tebalina mazzi. Amazzi gano gatambula Kabala Erosiwanu, Bulamazzi Erosiwanu, Kivumu Erosiwanu, Butunta Erosiwanu. Fena tukozesa amazzi gano era gatuyambye nnyo. Ne tusanga wakati tusanzeemu ekizibu nga Nexus bw'emala okumaliriza ne banga tukyasasula mukozi. Kati nga omanye ebyaba ne bagamba nti amazzi ga gavumenti biki n'ababaka baffe ne basalawo okutusasulira amazzi. Era amazzi bano bagasasula, tulina omukumi wa mitwalo 3 buli mwezi, n'ababaka batuga abantu baffe temuddamu kutegana, tugenda basasula mpaka ekintu bwe kinaatereera tuke tuddemu. Era twebaza mubaka Kyofa Togabye ne Honorable Najjuma Saala be batusasulira abakozi.
Now we've embarked on wealth creation, especially this household income enhancement income. We, as I'm speaking now, I think you found out we've distributed for the last 2 years. We've so far distributed 28,600,000 seedlings of coffee. But to who? Now I'm targeting the youth. We started a program called Save Land and Make money out of it. Don't sell land. Save it, make money out of it. Now the youth are being pushed back to the land, cultivate it, make money, then go back, buy a boda or any other. Because I was trying to pick him, say his message. You know, the president sometimes he speaks and we take long to pick, but you don't need to pick so many out of his. For me, I picked one thing of land fragmentation, which I mastered it and kept it in my Bolongata. Then when I go to the Balalo, I picked his message of cattle and so on, modern rearing. So I came here, but remember, the area had also gone into dogs because of the politics and so on. And everyone is now politically somehow insensitive, they have been charged. So I told them, look guys, me and you, we are Nakaseke. Anybody has nothing here. So you let us first work on our pockets, then we shall think of the politics. So the last 3 years, we've not been speaking politics. I only speak socio-economic issues, wealth creation, and actually do it practically. So that is now a shock we have. So many youth are turning and everybody is saying, we are going to go with you, because at least you know what pains us, and at least you touch our, then these other things. Anyway, sometimes I even forget what I've done. There are so many. I found that the president, every time he speaks, somehow, we call it Okwenyamira in Uganda. I don't know what it means. I mean, what they call it in English. I don't know what is. But somehow you find him is like heartbroken. He bends a bit. Then I said, oh, What is the implication of this old man if he says, you people, there is a problem, there is a problem? Then too, what annoyed me mostly is that when we started mobilizing people to embrace PDM, our leaders who happened to be opposition because of some lack and other things, again they were trying to frustrate the community, rejecting it, telling the community not to go and participate and pick this money, telling them this is little money, what? So I used to ask them, okay, it's okay, little money, well, how much has your mother given you? Because your parent would be the first really, the first people to really to help you. But take it as a stopgap. For us, we are saying, you cry for capital. How much capital do you have? 50,000. Now I'm saying, the president has given you 1 million. Why don't you add on your 50,000 and expand your business? And two, do you think the president is interested in this man? If he was, he wouldn't have brought it to you guys. This is like, he has donated it. And remember, he's the president, the fountain of honor with a pen. Why don't we now appreciate that small thing and then we see, the rest we can criticize later. So when they insisted, and these people started telling me, why don't you help us? I said, you know, you people, I hate you because you may not understand me, I'm clear, a bit straight and clear. I don't want to speak to you, and then you say, I've spoken badly. By the way, I suffered a whole year, I think 2023 days to say, Kyofa speaks badly. Why? You know, I tell you the truth, and then for you call it arrogance. I said, So, but when I insisted, people started. By the way, it took long even to uptake this money. Because the lead, you know, when a leader speaks, somehow people are now picking money with skepticism. So we insisted, then I had to tell them, look, guys, now I'm the minister speaking. You either take this money or take it. And I remember I told them, we are going to force you to become rich. Then they said, I'm arrogant. And you know, I used to work with the Nkoni, and I say, I will even reach a point of beating you if you don't want to become rich. But now, when these people started, I now seeing a lot of change. I was so impressed when Museveni came here. People could really confess. You could see smiles on people's faces. I don't want to be misunderstood. But for the people of Nakaseke, I would say, this is the right time. We should not even protect him, but we should safeguard our own gains. I'm not speaking from the angle of NRM or what. No. I'm now speaking from the angle of a Nakasekenian, a Burmese person. This is the right time. We should now protect or safeguard what we've achieved. You know, since then, before even these things came up, 20 years ago, some of us were still younger boys in our 20s. These are the things we started doing. And as I'm speaking now, these are the things some of you people, you've been proud of me. So please do me a favor, we protect this.